Now I'd like to show you the OpenWhisk Debugger, which is a tool for debugging your serverless OpenWhisk actions. I've already got the OpenWhisk Debugger, so the whisk db command running, and I'm inside of what's basically a REPL loop where you provide input, it performs an action, and you display an output. First thing I want to do is run the help command so that you can see the different commands that are available inside of the debugger. So we can list actions, we can invoke actions, we can inspect them to see the details of an action, we can fire triggers. When we're debugging, we can attach to actions, and we'll need to do that. So we need to attach to a particular action to be able to launch the debugging for that action. Again, we can detach from those actions. We can also make changes and publish those changes back up to OpenWhisk. So the first thing that I want to do is run the list command. You can see I've got this list of actions. The one that I'm going to show you first is this Fibonacci action, which generates numbers in a Fibonacci sequence. So let's first attach, if I can spell correctly, so attach the Fibonacci action. And you can see here it says creating action trampoline. Okay, now we're ready to debug this action, and we do that by running the invoke command. So we're going to invoke Fibonacci, and then we're going to pass parameters just like we would with the OpenWhisk CLI. So -p num, which stands for the number in the sequence, we're going to do num4, and I've got this set up as a zero-based sequence for Fibonacci, so it's going to give us the value at position 4, which is actually the 5th number in the sequence. So it says debug session requested, and you can see that launched our visual debugging environment, which is based on Node Inspector, which if you've used the debugging tools inside of Safari or Chrome, WebKit, this is going to look very familiar. It gives us the ability to see the code, we can see the call stack, we can see memory variables, and we can also set breakpoints and step through individual lines of code. So let me go ahead and run through the debugger, and you can see right here that we're stepping through code, and you can see the local value, so the number that's being passed into this instance of the recursive function, was 3. We can see the numbers that are available in the sequence. Again, we can see right here, the number being passed in that time is 4 for the return value, and then we can see the generated sequence for the 4th position, which is actually the 5th item in this zero-based array. And so it's going to return to us the value of Fibonacci with n equals 4 is going to be 5. And once that's complete, you can see it says debug session ends. Let's jump back over to the OpenWhisk Debugger, and you can see the value that was returned from the action has been returned. So for n is 4, the value is 5, and it returns a Fibonacci sequence up to, including the numbers that make up the sequence up to that position. So that is debugging a Node.js action on OpenWhisk using the OpenWhisk Debugger. Now let's detach from Fibonacci, and we will attach to another one that I have called, I tried to paste here, one called Swift template. And this is just a really simple Swift action, because I want to show you how to debug Swift actions using the LLDB debugger. So let me run list here. I thought it was Swift template. Oh, apparently I misspelled it here. It's Swift template. So we'll attach to Swift template, created action trampoline. So now let's go ahead and invoke this Swift action. So it's been invoked. This is going to start the LLDB debugging, and this is going to also give us breakpoints, the ability to step through code, the ability to inspect values that are in memory, and you can use LLDB commands. And in the blog post associated with this, I have put a shortcut to some LLDB commands, so if you want to be able to print out variables in memory. But essentially, from here, I can hit N to jump to the next line of code. We'll hit N again. You can see we're now on line 21. It's going to return hello stranger. So let's go ahead and let it finish. And oops, did I not I may not have typed that correctly. There we go. The result is hello stranger, and the debug session is complete. So we've now debugged both a Node.js and a Swift action. You can also do this for Python actions. I'm personally not a Python developer, so I'm not familiar with that. But this makes the overall development of your serverless OpenWhisk actions significantly easier.